When I think about where you came from, I'm a little familiar with it.
Right.
Just how much does this moment mean for you to be a part of all this?
Man, it's an honor. This is where I grew up. And you don't get to the other stages. You don't get to college. You don't get to the top level without starting here. Your foundation begins somewhere. My foundation begins in Sacramento.
You're kind of like me, where you were all over Sacramento.
Yeah.
Different places.
Yeah.
I bounced around, you bounced around. What does it mean it's a melting pot. There's so many different birds,
yeah,
trees that just make up Sacramento.
Yeah.
So what makes it such a hotbed for talent?
I couldn't tell you. All I could tell you was that, the neighborhoods that I grew up in, I grew up down the street from Rudder, and Florin High School, it was all over the place. And all the neighborhoods I grew up in, we used to play huge football games, and we couldn't tell you, anybody's name that was on that field, but it sure looked like there was a lot of talent there, so I don't know, our neighborhoods were great. We had a lot of talent. We always played football. We always played baseball. We always played soccer, basketball, and all those different things, and some of those guys were able to parlay that into something special. And you're seeing a lot of talent come out of this area, this Northern California, piece of Northern California, and so I'm glad that it's getting recognized.
When you think 20 years ago, did you ever picture that you'd have the career that you'd have in the NFL and be standing here today with this honor?
No way, man. One of the best things that, one of the best feelings that I had, when I was playing football, and back on the back end, I was walking out and I'm carrying my helmet out to practice, smelling the grass, and I'd look at my helmet, and I'm like, dang. Still doing it, man. Another day coming out there, and you got to go out. You got to go to practice, and you start thinking back where it all started, where it was doing the same thing. It's carrying my helmet, smelling the grass, get ready to go out for practice. So it was that was a great feeling.
You still keep very much involved in the Chicago community.
Yeah.
It's what you do in Arizona.
Yeah.
And then you still make it back here so much to be a part of things like this and community stuff. And I saw you speak on behalf of Chris Nixon.
Yeah.
What occupies your time these days?
Well, I'm like you. I'm doing media in Chicago. I'm doing media. I'm doing radio and TV in Chicago, which is actually fun. That region is, it's easy for me because I'm super familiar with it. I'm super familiar with what's going on, and I'm on with a lot of my ex-teammates, which makes for a crazy show every week. But in Arizona with my kids, doing a lot of work with University of Arizona as well, working with youth, just specialized for, teaching football, teaching defense, things like that. It's, for me, life is actually busier now than it was when I was playing.
Did you ever think it would be that way?
I just expected, the only thing I expected was not to be a guy who's going to sit back and become a couch potato. I knew that once I get away from the game long enough, I'd be itching to do something.
Does it challenge you in a way that football did?
In a different way. I wouldn't say no. No, the challenges that football presented were life inspiring, and it really pushed me past the limit that I thought I could go, and so once you push past that type of limit, within yourself, it changes you. That's life changing, and you see the world differently.
I got three more for you.
All right.
I always get heat that when I talk to you, people always say, why don't you ask him his favorite Elk Grove memory? And I'm like, because I think I know what it is, but just so I'm going to scratch that itch and address that. What's the best Elk Grove memory? My best Elk Grove memory is I only lost one game as an Elk Grove as an Elk Grove player, and we avenged that loss in the playoffs. So going back-to-back championships, with those guys that I grew up with, was by far the best memory. Cool. And then when you think about playing in a Super Bowl's almost a little over a week away. Yeah. Anything compared to that?
Nothing on that magnitude. You got to think about, it's an American sport, and it brings in twice as much as World Cup. So it's an event that's it draws so much and so many people. So it's hard to compare that to, say, the section championship.
Right.
You know, right? You know, so yeah. The Super Bowl, nothing compares.
From a player standpoint, what is that week like? And you know, look, you were on the losing end of it.
Yeah.
How much does that still stick with you?
It does. You know, it doesn't bother me unless probably when I'm watching the game. You know, after the first quarter, then just everything goes downhill. But you know, I was there, and I'm an example to some of the younger guys, especially some of these Bears that I get to see all the time, and or Wildcats, to say nothing is given. You guys have a good year. If you have a good year, it doesn't mean that the next year, following year, is going to be good too. So you better maximize, do the best you can, like do whatever you can to get wherever you need to go in the year that you have it, because that team will never come again.
And like I asked about what that week is like from a player standpoint.
Yeah. Can
you enjoy it, or is it?
Oh, I enjoyed it. Oh, I took in every minute of it. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not a guy that I was never too uptight. I wanted to enjoy every moment, because when I went out to practice, man, I was always ear to ear with smiles, because I just loved the game. I love the atmosphere. I love being around those guys. So, yeah, you don't have to worry about me missing out anything.
And finally, just how much are you looking forward to tomorrow?
Man, I'm looking forward to having all of my friends and family there. We filled up all our tables. And Ed Lombardi and Dave Hoskins is going to be there. Dinwiddie and Costa, they're going to be there, and my mom's going to introduce me. I'm excited about that, and it's just I'm excited to not only tell my story, but I want to hear everybody else's.
Appreciate you, man.